mixing, pouring, and answering your questions.
This is waiting.
Yeah, I know there's a delay for you on the channel.
Oh, there is?
Because you're not watching it in the back end.
Okay.
Because I didn't schedule it through the computer. I mean, is it waiting for me to click go live? Like,
I think so. That's just what it was doing on the cat one.
it says I'm live.
Oh, it does?
40 seconds I've been live. 2 people watching. How you guys doing? Oh, as soon as I sat down, the screen went normal. How you guys doing? We're trying to figure out these technical difficulties over here, but I wanted to do a live stream where I mix the paints on camera so you guys can see like how I mix. So maybe it'll be a little bit easier because I know we have a lot of new artists coming over and checking out our videos over here, which is awesome. So I want to be able to help you guys if I can. I don't have an external mic, so I'm hoping you can hear me well. Can you guys hear me pretty well? And I have to have the computer muted over here so I can't.
Hi, hey, hi, Joe, hello.
Hey!
Ooh. 2, 3, 4.
Yeah.
It's 5 seconds.
No, 5 seconds away. Not too bad.
I just want them to see that there's movement.
Yep, there's definitely movement. All right, so
Whoa.
I'm still kind of figuring out what colors I'm going to use today.
Hi from Moscow. Where do you get the spinner?
This was on Amazon. It should be the link in my description where it says My Spinner, and it's an Amazon link, and it'll take you right to this exact spinner right here.
Hi, England, UK. Hi, Australia. Hi, Moscow. Hi, everyone in the US.
Hi!
Hi, Colombia. Jeez. Massachusetts.
What's up?
North Carolina.
Oh, damn!
Raleigh. Oh my goodness, Florida.
Oh, shoot. Get back.
Quebec, Canada.
Look out. All right, so
Canadian, eh? Hungary.
at the beginning of all my videos, I typically tell you guys, like, I mix it 2 parts this with 1 part paint, but you don't ever get to really see that process, so I'm just going to do it for you guys. So you guys can actually see what I'm talking about for the newer people that need help with it, because I do get a lot of questions about it from you guys, and I want to help.
India, Germany, Oregon, Connecticut. I just like seeing all these people from all over the world.
I know, it's crazy,
cool.
right?
I'm even getting flags.
Oh, wow.
Flags, yeah.
Heck yeah. All right, so the colors we're using today, I haven't even fully figured them out yet.
Australia.
I know I love this permanent emerald green from Amsterdam. I'm not sure how I'm feeling about the pea green baby poop color. I'm not sure if I want to use that yet.
Oh, watch the cats.
I'll actually probably use a fluorescent instead because it's a little bit of a nicer color and it'll offer more contrast with that dark green. So right now I'm taking you like the behind the scenes of my process of trying to figure out what colors I want to use and how they're going to come together. So right now I'm looking at a green, 2 greens, a titanium white, and I'm looking at this phthalo blue, but the phthalo blue is so dark, so phthalo blue is probably not going to work.
The horse is galloping.
Oh. Before we make a mess, I want you guys to see our newest little child, if I can get her. Well, no, not that one. All right.
Where is she?
I don't know where she went.
She's right here making a ruckus. Hold on. Beauty.
Okay.
There she is.
I'm gonna show you Peanut. He's not our child, but this is Peanut. And he went to adoption today, but he did not get picked. Yep. And then this is Beauty. This is our newest little monkey.
2 months old.
She is 2 months old, but
ounces.
she was like a preemie, so
A
she's gonna be a miniature cat
It's a runt.
forever. Yeah, runt. But this is our newest baby.
And they're galloping down.
Yep, they're sweethearts. All right, go play with your friend. All right, so 2 greens we got. We got rid of that pea green kind of titanium white, and I think I want to use this. It's a Blick version of the cerulean blue. It's a little bit darker than the cerulean blues that I typically get from Artist Loft. You can kind of see the difference in color. It's very slight, but it is noticeable. But I'm going to use this Blicks today, so we can start putting paint in the cups.
Do you prep your canvas before painting?
I don't prep my canvas except for putting tape on the back so it stays on my spinner and doesn't go flying across the room. Because the canvases I buy are already pre-primed. I get the canvas packs from Michael's where they sell it in like a pack of 10, but they're already pre-primed and pre-gessoed, so I don't have to do it. But yeah, so first question I get all the time, how do I keep my canvas on the spinner? I take some painter's tape and I just loop it back on itself and just stick it on the back. And do the same thing on the other side.
Where do you get your spinner again? Somebody asked.
From Amazon. And then, yeah, the link to this exact spinner is in the description. I think it says like my spinner or something like that right before the link. But yeah, so you put a little double or a little loop of tape and it's not gonna go anywhere. All right, now we can start our mix.
Somebody did say they liked the way that you're mixing the brands, Janet.
Oh yeah?
She asked if you tried Nick Pour Premium.
Nick Pour Premium? I don't think I've heard of that.
And then Tara Fredericks from Massachusetts is just she or he needs to understand mixing.
Well, awesome. Then you are in the right place because we are about to start mixing. So, will you throw me that permanent marker sitting on the desk? There's somewhere over there. There's a permanent. Yep. All right. So just for ease, not insulting anyone's intelligence, normally I do like 1 part paint. Like so, this is a 3-ounce cup. So 1 part paint would be 1 ounce, right? And then if you were going all the way to the top of the cup, it'd be 2 ounces of pouring medium. I don't need that much paint for this little canvas. So I'm not doing anything super exact, but I'm kind of drawing lines that are about as equal apart from each other. So it helps me, right? So it'll be like 1 part paint and then 2 parts pouring medium.
Christine?
Yeah.
You don't put tape around the back edges?
Sometimes I do. If I'm using a wooden canvas, I will. Because it has cleaner edges and it's easier to make sure that you can get the tape off later. But I actually like the look of the painting being handled in wherever you've had to manipulate it. So it has a little bit of like a personality on the back.
What do you put spinner in so where ink goes off when spinning? Oh, in that tub.
Yeah, so this is a water heater tub from Lowe's or Home Depot. I think
it's hard for these tub because it's full of.
Yeah, it's got paint in it right now.
It is a black water heater.
Yeah, just a water heater tray that catches the water. All right, so.
Hi, South Africa.
How's it going? All right, so I'm just gonna put about 1 part. If you're not very comfortable with the paint yet and measurements and stuff, you can use a little scale and weigh them out. And I did the same thing for a long, long time. But I've done it enough now to where I kind of can just guesstimate. And it's pretty close. And then if it's way off because it's different brands, I can kind of look at it and bring them close to the same consistency just because I've done it too much.
And then somebody said for a tip, you know, like when you were marking it, because you know the 1 ounce and 2 ounce.
Yeah.
They said just pour water at the 1 ounce mark and mark it, and then go to 2 ounce. And
Yeah,
mark it.
you
So
could
just
totally do
water.
it that way too.
So they
Yeah.
know how to mark it.
So it'd be a little more accurate for sure.
Yeah.
So yeah, so about, as you can see, it's like, they're not all the same, right? There's a little bit more green than there is blue. That's okay. I'll make sure that this is 1 part and I do 2 parts of the pouring medium to match each individual volume of paint in the cup. But I didn't get to say this yet. How's everybody doing today? I hope you guys are doing amazing. I'm doing great. We just got done with our adoption event and 2 of our babies got adopted.
2 out of 3.
Yep, 2 out of 3. The one you already saw, the little boy with the spots on his belly. Peanut is the one that has not been adopted today.
Which is so weird.
Yeah, he's gorgeous, but
Half Bengal, half Tabby.
yeah, half Bengal, half Tabby. It's a really good looking cat. I'm shocked he didn't get scooped right up, but that's fine. That gives us more time to love him. All right, so You saw me, I just poured about 2 parts pouring medium into the cup, right? It's not exact, and it doesn't have to be exact. That's one mistake I was making in the beginning for a long time, was I thought that when people gave me a recipe, it had to be exactly the exact same recipe, same medium, same brands, all the stuff. And that's not true. It's really not true at all. The only thing you need to worry about is like the consistency of your paints. They should be close. So no matter what brands you're using, whenever the paint's dripping off the stick, all the cups of color that you're using for this canvas should be almost the same. Again,
what's your pouring medium? 2 people. What type of medium you use, and what's your pouring medium, please?
This is Artist Loft pouring medium from Michaels. Let me put the cap back on it. Wait, there is no cap for this one.
You can kind of just see it if you put it under a little bit.
So, I think you
5
can.
seconds. Let's see.
All right, I can turn it a little bit.
Right there.
But it's the
That's right.
Artist Loft pouring medium. It's a little cheaper than some of the other stuff, the more premium stuff, but I actually like this pouring medium better than the more premium like Liquitex and
You said there's
Golden.
no cap, baby?
that one didn't have a cap. Because remember when we were doing the painting classes, we ordered like 10 of them? Well, that cap broke.
So how do you top it?
I just broke the seal, it was closed.
Oh, you
So
don't.
I just need to grab another
Okay.
cap.
Gotcha.
And here I am mixing paint off camera. My bad. But now you can definitely see the difference already. Way wrong. This would not work out well. See how watery this blue is? And then I'm going to compare it to this white. You can see the difference. It's very distinct. So I need to add more pouring medium to this.
Or could you add
Or I could add paint to this
into a bigger cup?
to make it thicker.
But then you'll have so much paint left over.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's how I fix these problems. I'll either add more pouring medium to thin it out, or if I need to thicken it, I will add more paint.
Camera shaking because Peanut's attacking the tripod.
And I'm going to add more paint because I don't want to add more pouring medium because I'm going to need more of that to accomplish what I'm trying to do. And I actually, I don't think I've ever even used the Blix brand paint before. So this is going to be a fun little adventure. No squeaking out there.
It's paper, Peanut. Or paper.
All right, so just give it a good mix. Hold on, I'm dripping paint everywhere, which is fine because this canvas is going to be covered here in a minute. So right now it is 83 degrees in the art room. Just want you guys to know that. But now, do you see how the consistency is getting a little closer? But it's a lot better than it was. Now, I normally go by a trace system when I'm measuring consistency. So that means I'll let the paint drip off the stick. I think you can see it well. Hold on.
You like medium more than floetrol?
I do, yes. Because floetrol helps with cells. But this stuff, you can add the oil directly into the paint after it's mixed, and it's really good. Like this stuff actually it makes some pretty cool effects. So the trace system I was talking about. So the paint drips off the stick, and you're gonna count how many seconds that line of paint that you're dripping onto the surface takes to disappear. So it's about 1.5 seconds-ish, probably. And again, it doesn't have to be exact. But then we're gonna take it back to our white and see. This is still much thicker than that blue. So I'm gonna add pouring medium to the white and try to thin it down a little.
Somebody asked where you get your paints from.
From Michaels, mostly. Sometimes I'll order them off Amazon if they're decent price. A lot of the time I'll use the Michaels and I'll buy in bulk. They have some kind of program where you can order a lot of items in bulk and you get a huge discount on it. So we got a lot of white paint, but I think that the consistency of this white is a lot closer now. But this is the process that you guys never get to see. Me sitting here mixing paints, and I can already kind of tell I'm gonna have to add paint to this because this is gonna be way too thin.
Gigi's in South Africa, and they don't have Australian floetrol.
Okay.
Or American floetrol, so she said. Sorry.
You don't have to be sad. You can use Elmer's school glue as a medium. Just be aware that that medium is gonna lend itself more towards straight, sharp edges and lines than cells.
Julie said the colors you're picking out are making her happy.
Well, good. I'm glad.
And Cicely Lover, I'm so sorry about your father passing away. But you keep your mind occupied doing this, so that's great.
Yeah, that's very true. So I just add a little bit of medium, a little bit here, a little bit there. Test it, check it, make sure it's getting close. Like this green emerald paint is super thick. Like that is still way too thick.
Somebody just put glue and water.
Yep, glue and water at a 70%, I think it's what, 70% water, 30% glue ratio. It's in a bottle over here somewhere. But I think it's 70-30. All right, let's check the green one. Oh, needed medium in there. Still too thick. All right, so. And then all this extra paint, I am gonna use it on probably a different canvas, or I'll bottle it up and seal it and save it for later, because I'm definitely not gonna need this much paint. All right, so now we're looking way better. Okay. Now this, I'm gonna say this fluorescent green's probably gonna be all right. It might need a little paint. It might be too thin too. So that's good. So we get to see a couple different ways of troubleshooting when you're mixing. Now for those of you that use fluid paints that are in the bottles that you get from Walmart, Dollar Tree, stuff like that, there's nothing wrong with using those paints. Just know that the ratio won't be 2 parts pouring medium and 1 part paint, because the craft paints that you get in the little bottles are fluid already. So just to add some binders to the paint and help with the medium, I would add 1 part pouring medium to 1 part paint for craft paints. But if you're using like tube paints like these, I use 2 to 1, sometimes 3 to 1, but the ratios can be misleading because you don't always have to have exact ratios. I try to tell everybody, no, don't marry yourself to the ratio. Marry yourself to like this consistency, so you know all the paints are going to flow well together.
What size are those cups you're using?
These cups are 3-ounce cups. So ideally there's 1 ounce of paint and 2 ounces of pouring medium in each cup.
Do you ever encounter when you add water to anything, it changes the finish to a flat?
Normally,
even if it started as a gloss.
Yeah, normally, depending on the paint brand you're using, it can dry satin, or it can dry, you know, shiny. I have noticed a lot of times, like when it's wet, obviously it looks very vibrant and colorful, and then after it's dried, it does take on kind of a dull, muted finish. But I found that I can fix that by just adding a coat of varnish at the end. When everything's dried and cured, you add some varnish to it, and it brings all those beautiful colors back to life.
And did you say 30% glue? I use it the other way, 70% glue.
Don't quote me. I'm going off what I'm thinking it is in my head right now, but I would have to actually look in my book and look it up.
Where is it, you think?
Let me check.
Is it in your video?
Oh, wait. Is this it there? That's not it. See, now I want to find it. It is in my e-course, but that doesn't help you guys. I will get you an answer to that question. But you in the comments, you are probably correct. It is
what kind of varnish and how do I apply?
Okay, so there's several different types of varnish. Some that I like to use are these. My room's a mess, you guys. Apologies. So I do like this UV resistant clear coating. This would be for something that's maybe, you know, I like it a lot, but it's not something that I'm gonna try to sell or I want it to last forever. This is more of an archival kind of varnish. It'll protect the colors. It blocks out UV. I don't know how well you can read that. This is Liquitex gloss varnish, and then this is just Krylon gloss UV clear acrylic coating. So either one of those you can use. But if you use oil, just know that you're going to have to clean the oil off the surface before you use varnish, or those sections with oil on them will reject the varnish.
Do you not add any water?
I do not like adding water, but you can. You can add water up to 30% of the volume of paint that you used. If you go over 30%, you start breaking the binders in the paint. And then, I don't know if some of you have poured before, where you've mixed with a lot of water, and you can almost see the paints are just tearing apart on the surface. That's because the binders aren't holding the paint together, so it's just coming apart because it's been diluted so much with water.
What tool do you use to apply the varnish?
Well, for the
And do you mix your varnish too?
do I mix it?
Yeah.
No, I don't mix it. This is just an aerosol can, so I'll just spray this on it. With this one, I actually do this like a pour. I'll pour a puddle in the middle of the canvas, and then I'll tilt it, but underneath I'll have a little plastic sheet down, catching all the excess, so that way I can pour it back into the bottle when I'm done, because this stuff's not cheap, so it hurts my brain to waste some. All right, so you probably did see me. I put 1 drop of this coconut oil hair serum in the colors. There's a lot of bubbles because I did just mix the paints. One thing you can do to get rid of the bubbles is I'm gonna take this over outside the can because you can't see it, but hold on.
This ain't your daddy's politics. Holy smokes, I can't believe I'm watching you live. Hello from West Virginia. You are my favorite with Olga second.
Shoot. What's up? All right, so if you're gonna mix, I'm trying to put this thing where you guys can see. Okay, if you're gonna mix immediately and pour, there's gonna be tons of like bubbles, but you can just take it and tap it and get it all over yourself, which that's fun too. But you can just take it and like tap the bottom of the cup on the table, pop most of those surface bubbles, so that way you don't have all those little pinholes. I'm pretty sure you guys know what I'm talking about. Little pinholes where the bubbles burst during the drying process, and then there's just a big pit, like a little crater in the paint. All right, so let's just layer the cups in no real specific order because all these colors all like each other. There's not much of a risk of anything muddy coming out of this.
Janet's asking how the patent's going.
The patent is going well. Right now they're still working on a lot of the like verbiage as far as at conventions and stuff, like how they're going to try to pitch it. But it's going well. There was actually surprisingly nothing on the market that was patented, anything even close to what the cups were. So I don't think we're going to get denied the patent. It's just going through that government process.
Somebody said, move your camera.
Oh. Thank you guys. Yeah, so I've been layering, but oh my goodness, here we go.
And then they said, no blowtorch?
Not today. I do have the torches, but I mean, I don't know if I'm going to use the torch yet. I might use the heat gun instead.
And somebody uses their hair dryer and high with the diffuser. Works great for popping the bubbles without moving the paint around. Oh, so I think they mean from when you were popping or slamming. So you were just layering, right?
Yeah, I was layering the cup, and I was just alternating white, dark blue, white, emerald green, fluorescent green, and the cerulean blue from Blick's, and then just alternating back and forth. And right now I'm letting some of the colors churn because I'm going to create some gradients going through. That's the beauty of it. Like, you never really know what it is you're going to get until you do it. Love that. All right. And we are ready. Those are some pretty colors. I like that cerulean blue. It's a little deeper than the other brand. It wasn't that messy. Could have been better. All right. Ooh, that's kind of cool. I'm seeing almost purples in there.
Wow.
That's really pretty.
Somebody, Marge asked, what do you use a torch for? And what do you use the heat gun for? So the difference between torch and heat gun.
Okay, so I have both, right? I prefer the heat gun because what I'm using the heat gun for is to try to pop some of these surface bubbles, because there are some, but more than that, I'm using this to warm up the silicone that is in the paint layers so it'll rise. If you heat it up, it starts rising. That's why you start seeing these cells popping up. And when the oil rises through the layers of paint, it kind of pulls those colors with it through to the surface. And that's why you see these multi-ring cells. But you see the white, that was air bubbles. But you can see in some spots there are cells starting to try to come to the surface. I prefer using the heat gun over the torch just because there's more control. With the torch, if I was to torch across, you're going to see a ton of tiny pinhole cells pop up everywhere. Or not. Not today. Yeah, like right in there, we're getting tons of little miniature cells everywhere. In there, with all those little miniature cells. So, I prefer the heat gun just because there's a lot more control to it. All right, I think we're ready to spin her out. Just seeing where the weight of the paint is.
Nice, wow. How do you remove the silicone after?
So you can do a bunch. I have a 3 or a 4-step process to how I do it. You don't have to do it my way, but I use Windex, ammonia-free, diluted with water. The Windex is about, it's about probably 10% Windex to 90% water. And take a bit paper towel, and I just wipe across the surface, checking the paper towel to make sure I'm not removing color. And then after that, I let that dry. Then I'll come back with 90% isopropyl alcohol and water, mix the same way, 10% alcohol, 90% water. Same thing, paper towel, wipe, but check every time you wipe now, because the alcohol will pull the paint right off the canvas if it's not cured properly. So,
what kind of heat gun and what kind of blow dryer, and do you have an Amazon shop?
this is a Wagner heat gun, but any heat gun will do. Doesn't have to be this. And then the torch I just got from a corner store where like they sell them at like vape shops and gas stations. And then what was the last question?
That was it. Oh, do you have an Amazon shop?
I do have an Amazon shop. It should be in the description of the video somewhere.
So, invisible dimensions, it is centered over here, so it could be adjustments on your end. The canvas isn't centered in this in invisible dimensions computer.
Oh.
It's centered though.
I mean, it is off center just a little. I just moved it a little.
A dot. No.
I moved it the wrong way. Whoops.
No, but it's still in the center. The whole canvas is showing, is what I mean.
Yeah. I could be closer. I think next time I'll try to get a little closer so that
How long would
see
you
it better.
say it takes for a piece to fully cure?
For it to cure, it's probably, I would give it 30 full days to actually fully cure and dry. Because in some parts of the world, it might take a lot, it might take more than it takes me. So I don't want to give you like, yeah, in 3 or 4 days it should be good. Just to be safe, like it should take about 30 days for you to give it the opportunity to fully cure. But here's what we got going on here. I kind of like it.
Yeah, you got a lot of, that looks lovely, beautiful right now. Wow.
And I think I'm going to use balloons and make little flowers again. Because you guys liked it when I did that last time.
And somebody asked now, what do you use to blow out the paint?
To blow out the paint?
Mm-hmm.
You mean like the spinner? Because some artists, they use hair dryers to blow the paint out. I think that's what you're trying to say. Or I think that's what you're saying to me. I'm not sure. I don't use a hair dryer because this wasn't a Dutch pour. And I'm very bad at Dutch pours. So maybe one day I'll step out of my comfort zone and do those again.
Sandy, it's okay if you're late. We just went live just for the heck of it.
Oh yeah, spur of the moment live. All right, I don't know what this is gonna do. Ooh, I like that. That made a nice little flower and cells popping up in it.
Ooh, that's so pretty. Do you know the wattage of your hairdryer by chance? I can look it up.
Wattage.
What kind is it?
It's a Wagner. It is 1200 watt.
1200 watts?
Yep. I think I'm pushing too hard. So my flowers are starting to get all wonky over here.
And,
Here, let me touch this side.
sorry, batter. We don't have that translation of language.
All right. Well, I kind of want to bring you guys down, and we'll see all the little cells, but I'm seeing little bubbles that are trying to pop up to the surface, so I want to get rid of those. We dropped a little piece of cat hair in there, and that's wonderful. Hold on a second. Let me get that.
When you're done with your paintings, what do you use to separate them?
Wax paper.
Wax paper to separate the paintings.
Wax paper or pieces of like old cardboard boxes that I cut and stick between them so they don't stick together. Because I have had that problem already, and I'm going to show you.
And they were beautiful.
Yeah, they were beautiful.
One was my favorite.
But, yeah, but I was storing a bunch of them, and I kind of didn't think about it. So now I have a whole bunch of canvases that look like this. It's really cool. They're all literally glued together. I couldn't pull it apart if I wanted to.
Orange chameleon.
Yep.
Don't.
And this beautiful pink one. But yeah, I can't get it apart. So
somebody in Ohio, currently humid as heck in their studio, so they're contemplating moving to the greenhouse instead. The average temp is between 70 and 90. And somebody asked, so how are your blooms? Because we were going to do that today.
We were actually going to do blooms today. Because I still haven't figured out how to get them to work. Like I know how to pour them. I've done tons of them in the past, and it's just something. It's something with the temperature and humidity here. It's so dry. For those of you that are familiar with blooms, the medium for the colors is very thick, but the medium or the consistency of the cell activator is really thin. So the thin paint dries so fast here in Arizona that it's solid within an hour.
Yeah, they're struggling with blooms. So it could be something you do next. And then somebody said, did you try heating a bit from afar?
Heating a bit from afar?
Yeah, from afar.
I did not.
And then what percent of alcohol, 70 or 99?
I'm going to say use 70 to be safe.
I think it is 70.
I don't think I would want to use 99% alcohol on a painting.
So what would you need right now to start a bloom? Something small?
No, I would need to mix the medium and everything.
Oh. Could you just do 2-color bloom?
Mm-mm.
No?
Because I got to mix the colors and mix the cell activator and everything.
How many of you want to see them do a bloom? I don't know if they can really hear me well.
I'm sure they can.
I love watching them paint.
You know what? We'll do a bloom
Or
next
pour.
weekend.
Next weekend.
Same bad time, same bad channel. Well, not bad channel. It's good channel, but
They can hear me. So yes, please. Yeah, you're getting a lot of yeses.
yeah, I mean, I'm going to do it, and I'm going to keep trying it until I figure it out. It's just I've been hitting a wall, and I don't want to put a video out trying to show you guys how to do some stuff. And I don't, if I'm struggling with it, then I'm sure that some of you might have a problem too. So I don't want to try to teach you something if I don't know how to do it.
Do you save your paint?
I do. I save my paint. Most of the time, it's always in a little cup. I mean, I just take the popsicle sticks out of these, and I have press and seal, and I just put the press and seal over the lid and just let it sit here until I want to use it again.
Do you have leftover? Or are you going to save those, or you want to do something?
No, I'm going to save them.
Okay. And then somebody said, if your paint is drying too fast, try a few drops of vegetable glycerin. It pulls moisture in from the air.
Really? Vegetable glycerin.
Yeah.
I'll have to try that. That'd be
from
really
Nadia.
cool.
Thank you, Nadia.
Thank you. I will definitely try that. That sounds...
Gigi, what are you doing awake? It's 1:14 in the morning.
Oh, wow.
When you said the same time next week.
Okay, well, how about...
Well, it's 1:14, so you would have to do...
For those of you that watch these things anyway, most of you are probably here right now, or you're going to watch it again in the future on the replay. I'm going to put a post in the community tab, and it's going to be a vote. And you guys can vote on what time next Saturday I can go live, so that way it's more convenient for everybody. But it will happen next Saturday.
Well, if you do noon, it will be 10 p.m. for her. Because
Okay.
it's 4 hours before.
Okay.
And then, where do you get the press and seal from?
Walmart.
Walmart?
Yeah, like Walmart. It's like saran wrap. Hold on, let me see if I can. I know we have some downstairs. I just don't think we have it up here right now. No, it's right there. Glad. Right there.
And then Australia is 9:15 in the morning.
What?
So if Australia is 9:15 in the morning, we go 4 hours earlier, it'll be 5:15 for them. So it's gonna be, unless you do 2 live stream, 12 hours apart. That's the only thing.
Right. All right. So this is that Glad press and seal stuff I was telling you about. Trying to hold it in front of the camera. I'm really good at it.
Yeah, it is. Perfect.
Yeah, but this is the stuff. I just get it from Walmart. And one side's kind of tacky, and one side's not. Use the tacky side to secure the cup so the air can't get in there and dry out your paint.
Somebody said they use water in the balloon. Mercy said use
Oh,
water.
okay.
Would that make it heavier or?
Yeah, it'll make it more solid.
Okay. Okay. You don't edit your live, then I can watch later next weekend.
No, I'm not going to edit this live. What you see is what you get.
And then art by Julie E. She's an artist in Arizona that does
Oh,
blooms.
Julie E. I know her.
And she does blooms here, so maybe she has a recipe of temperature.
You know what? Maybe we'll have to do some kind of collaboration, hey?
Yeah. And
I
how
think
do you
so.
price your paintings?
Pricing your paintings is something I've struggled with a lot. Like, as an artist, right? Like, you're going to struggle with that imposter syndrome because, like, yeah, you love doing something, right? And you think it looks cool and it looks good, but, like, how do you price it to try to sell it to somebody else? Because, like, are you really an artist? Are you not an artist? Like, you know what I mean? And it's like, in the end, I used a little table that I found. I just Googled, like, how much should I sell my paintings for? And it came up with an Excel table that has a price per square inch. And then you can kind of guesstimate, like, for the 8 by 10, I want to sell it for, like, $20 or, you know, $10 or however you want to gauge your artwork. Because I can't tell you how to price it because it's a you thing, you know?
Mm-hmm. And Gigi said thank you for not editing because she'll watch it next week.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
And if you would have dropped a little bit more white. Did you have white? Yeah, you did.
I used white. I should have probably had more. It would be a lot of contrast.
Yeah, it's so pretty.
Mm-hmm. I like it.
Yeah. It's like an oil painting. Okay, so.
Mm-hmm. All right, so I'm going to put that post in the community tab for you guys.
Oh, the post of the time?
For you guys to vote, because we're still going to let you guys vote, and that way you guys will know what time we're going live. And
does the chat stay open when you turn off the live stream?
the chat, yeah, as long as you stay on this channel, on the video,
Okay.
even after I close the live stream, you guys can still talk if you really wanted to. Yeah.
Okay, so if there's any other questions, you guys, then just, do you prime your canvases before pouring them?
I do not. I buy the pre-primed and gessoed canvases in the packs from Michaels, so I don't have to prime them.
All right, and then I think your painting's lovely from Smarty Hardy.
Thank you so much.
All right, thank you.
Well, thank you guys for coming out. It was amazing painting with you guys again, and
I'll try to get him on tomorrow to do something small.
right, yeah, she's trying to get me to do more, and I will. Yeah. All right, you guys. Thank you for being here.
Bye.
And I will see you live Saturday next week, but I will see you in normal videos throughout the week like normal. All right, you guys. Have a good day.